Pharma Television News Review here at Anglo-Nordic in London in 2013. On this show, I have Claire Waring, who is the Chief Scientific Officer at Ockham Onoclogy. Welcome.
Thank you.
Claire, we're going to talk about Ockham Onoclogy, but you were actually a founder of a company that is now part of Ockham, which was called Nexus Oncology.
Correct.
As a founder of that, could you just tell us a little bit about the origins of Nexus itself and where you were positioned in the market?
Sure. So Nexus Oncology started as a consultancy company, basically advising biotechs who were taking molecules from the preclinical side of research into clinical development. Mm-hmm. So we basically help the companies design the trials, make connections with the oncologists in Europe who would be running the trials, and then basically setting up the trials and the infrastructure around those trials. And from there, the company moved into being more of a contract research organisation. So we continued to do the consultancy piece, but we actually evolved the company into a fully fledged contract research organisation.
But obviously specialised.
Completely specialised in oncology. So my background is oncology. I'm a PhD biochemist. I've always worked in oncology. It's my passion.
Right.
And so having been in drug development since the late 80s, I have worked on a number of different oncology drug development programs that have led to the successful approval of new cancer treatments. And so in moving into the consultancy side of the business in the mid to late 90s, I brought with me all the experience I had had over that period of time. And we really wanted to help the smaller biotech companies who maybe didn't have the kind of the big budgets that the pharma companies had, but who had very exciting molecules or approaches to cancer treatment. And I really wanted to help them, move into the clinical side of things and really add value to the programs, so that they could then hopefully, in the fullness of time, commercialize any product that showed it was providing benefit for patients.
Okay, so obviously, at that time with Nexus, were you operating globally? Because now you're part of Ockham. Yeah. You're acquired by Ockham.
Yeah.
You are now Ockham Onoclogy.
Sure.
So what's the difference between Nexus and Ockham? What was the benefit in that acquisition?
Okay. Well, just to backtrack a little bit, in developing Nexus Oncology in about 2003, 2004, we took the decision to internationalise the company, and we set up operations in different European countries. So we started with France, we moved into Switzerland, we added operations in a growing number of European countries.
Okay.
In 2005, we set up a US operation, and it was quite hard moving into having been traditionally a European business and had successfully, developed our footprint in Europe. To then move into the US was a whole different market for us. So it wasn't like we could just say, well, look, we've been doing great work over here in Europe, go to the US and say to people, come and work with us. We had to really start organically again in the US and build, and it took some time. And meanwhile, Ockham Onoclogy had been developing their footprint in the US and growing their operations in the US, but hadn't actually focused so much on Europe. So by bringing in January 2012, Ockham Onoclogy acquired Nexus Oncology. So we became part of a bigger company. And in doing that, we globalized more successfully. Right. And we also gained access to additional functional areas such as biometrics and pharmacovigilance. So it really enabled us to grow much, much quicker than had we stayed independent and, done that organic growth, bringing in different functional areas, ramping up in the US, which would have taken a lot more time. And also, we were at the point where we needed to think about taking on outside investment to grow, and didn't really want to do that. So actually being acquired by a company that had both deeper pockets and larger resources it made a lot of sense for us to do that.
So it made it easier to cross the pond, as they say.
For sure, yeah. It did.
So where are we now? So with the enlarged organisation, as you described, with the operations both in Europe and US. So what's the way forward now for Ockham Onoclogy?
Well, now we have that critical mass, and the fact that we are all staying focused in oncology means that we're very well positioned to start taking on larger projects.
Okay.
So historically, we have come from the early phases of oncology drug development, so the phase 1, phase 2. As molecules move through development, once you have some proof of concept data in the earlier stages, and molecules and therapeutic approaches move into phase 3, you need a bigger critical mass, you need a global footprint. And we have that. So we're now in a position where we can actually look forward to more sustained growth, and growth in a quicker way.
Right.
So we will still continue to focus on the phase ones and the phase twos, because for me, that's where it all starts, and it's important that we add the value for companies at that end of things.
It's a critical point, obviously.
Totally. We have to generate the proof of concept, but then we also have to be able to support larger trials, because it's ultimately the phase 3 trials that generate the data that support the regulatory approvals.
Right.
So really we can do it all now. It's kind of a soup to nuts approach, I think the term
Well,
is.
of course, one of the big issues for biotech companies when they're getting to proof of concept is that they have the right clinical package to convince pharma to do the deal,
for sure.
ultimately.
Yeah.
But I suppose that leads us on to another question, really, as a person who observes the outsourcing activity that's going on, in particular the development, the clinical development pipeline. If I could look at if you were to look at the clinical pipeline for oncology products and the behaviours of companies towards outsourcing, but also where are we in terms of that? What's your view as a person who's obviously well embedded in the activities here?
Well, I think, over the last 20 years there's been a complete growth in the outsourcing market. Back in the late 80s, early 90s, there was very little outsourcing activity by pharma and biotech, but I would say now we're in an era where, a very high percentage of clinical development is outsourced. That's set to continue. Oncology continues to be, the biggest area for drug development. If you look at all the molecules, both at preclinical and clinical, oncology is the number one area. It's the biggest unmet medical need. So the growth in the outsourcing market will continue. You couple that with the growth in the oncology drug development side of things. I see a real potential for growth.
Right. But I suppose part of the things that have changed is in some sense the market has changed, because what you could take through to clinical trials maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you can't take through anymore, because you've got the reimbursement issues and so forth.
Yeah, for sure.
So what is the shape of clinical trials now as they were, say, 10, 20 years ago?
Well, I think we're moving into the area of personalised medicine. I mean, we're already there. We have a number of molecules in the oncology area that have been approved in recent years that target specific patient populations who carry a specific mutation, and we have the tests now to define which of those patients carry the mutation and therefore stand the chance of the best therapeutic benefit with the molecule. So I think we're moving into an era where, we have smaller trials but more defined patient populations in oncology. My own personal view is that we need to be stricter at the phase 1 and phase 2 end of things. We look at the failure rate in phase 3 in oncology, and I mean it's the same in other therapeutic areas, but
it's too high.
It's too high. It's way too high. The attrition rate in oncology and the failure at phase 3 is way too high. We should be smart enough today to be able to predict from the phase 1 and the phase 2 data which molecules to take forward. And I think as an industry we need to focus our resources, our financial resources and our academic and intellectual resources on those molecules which have the highest chance of surviving and being efficacious in phase 3. So I think there is a need for our industry to do more cleverly designed phase 1 trials, more focused phase 1 and phase 2 trials where we are defining the patient population earlier, and stricter about what goes through into phase 3. So I think that would help our industry enormously to be more efficient.
Claire Waring, thank you very much indeed for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Our people, our purpose. Our goal at Ockham is to work with biotech and pharmaceutical firms to help get oncology therapies to market.
At Ockham, we believe our goal is bigger than one person or even one company. Our goal is to help save lives.
We know that people are our business, and ultimately it is our employees that make us who we are.
At Ockham, we have a dual role. First, as an independent, privately held oncology CRO, leading the way in cancer research.
Second, as a resourcing partner to provide talent and expertise to leading global pharma and biotech companies.
In both of these roles, our commitment remains exactly the same. Provide the research and talent that help bring cutting-edge therapies into the hands of patients who need them.
My colleagues and I participate in studies that could change the quality of life for people around the world, and that's pretty powerful.
In employees, there's a sense of being part of something larger than what their job descriptions usually involve. They all feel that they're actually making the cancer treatments available to people worldwide.
We are committed to our clients and manage their projects strategically and with a passion for results. We succeed by their success.
The work at Ockham is fast-paced, varied, and exciting, and gives me the chance to use my knowledge.
The challenging work. When I get challenging assignments, I get excited because when it's get done, you feel like satisfied and something accomplished.
Our global presence gives me the ability to travel, experience diversity, and expand my career.
Absolutely a global career. You're going to work with a great group of us across Europe. We're across in most European countries. We're in Canada, North America, India, Australia. You are working with a global organisation.
Enjoy being a part of a company that wants to help in the progress with cancer and how to help prevent or cure it in the future.
We look for clinical research professionals of all levels in biometrics, in the day-to-day research, the whole gamut of the clinical trial process.
The culture is very happy. We work hard. And I would say that the one thing that really makes me so glad about coming to work every day is everyone loves what they do.
Ockham provides opportunities to seek assignments based on my interests and expertise. These assignments are exciting, diverse, and provide me flexibility. This flexibility allows me to focus on my career and enjoy my life.
I'm not just a number. I'm part of a team. My ideas matter.
Ockham is also committed to the communities in which we operate and offers plenty of opportunities for me to give back.
We are proud to promote healthy lifestyle within our company.
If you want to come to our company and hide in a cube somewhere, we're not the right fit for you. If you want to be in our business and have your ideas shared, present it to the board, present it to the president and executive management of Ockham, we're the right place for you.
There are a number of benefits to working at Ockham. The compensation is competitive, the work is rewarding, and you have the opportunity to start a global career bringing therapies into the hands of patients worldwide. Are you ready? If you are, visit us at Ockham.com to get started today.